Hi everyone, welcome to practice. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on my channel. My name is Anna. This is AWH Yoga. So I had to take a week off, but I'm back and I'm so glad to be here with you. I'm still a little bit under the weather, so I apologize for sort of the raspy voice. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm excited to lead you through this flow tonight where we are going to focus on binds. So binds can be done in yoga to enhance flexibility, to encourage flexibility, strength, and mobility. And it also takes a high level of mental fitness as well to remain grounded and focused in a posture that sort of restricts the movement of the arms. So we are going to work through some of the asanas that include bind options this evening, some gentle ones, and then move up to some that are a little bit more advanced and take a few elements into consideration. The reason I selected this as the theme tonight is because I know that none of us are strangers to the feeling of being restricted, and I think that learning what being bound sort of feels like, and then realizing that we can still breathe and still experience and focus fully during that time is a really important thing to remember right now, as well as the beautiful contrast to when we can release from the bind, which we're all, I know, looking forward to in many ways. So that being said, please grab your props, block, strap, or blanket. Join me on the mat. We're going to start in a seated position. As you bring yourself down to the mat, coming into your Sukhasana or easy seated posture, take a moment to really settle in. So maybe that means you sort of wiggle a little bit back and forth. Maybe that means you clear the space in front and beside you. Maybe that means you move the shoulders a little bit before you move into stillness. When you find yourself in stillness within the body, close the eyes and begin to notice your breath. For now, we don't need to change anything about our breath. We just need to observe it. These have been busy and chaotic days, not only in our homes, but in the country and the world at large. There's been a lot of intense energy surging throughout our communities. And that can cause a lot of difficulty with us trying to find our center and feel grounded and safe. But as we begin to observe the breath here, we begin to realize that we can find our center even during these difficult times. Now I want you to begin to deepen the breath. You want to think about breathing through the belly first, expanding the belly, moving the air up through the lungs into the chest, and then back down again. Deepening the breath, especially when we do our inhales and exhales through the nose, signals to our nervous system that we're okay. So maybe try that if you don't typically do your inhales and exhales through the nose. Give that a try. Think about the breath moving in those three parts: belly, lungs, and chest. And back down, chest, lungs, and belly. as you sink down one more level into this grounded state, if you want to set an intention for your practice, this is a beautiful place to do that. Remember that your intention can be something you want to experience more fully, something you are aiming toward. It can also be a dedication. And you can certainly dedicate your practice to you. Let's take one more deep breath together. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Gently open your eyes. You can slightly refresh your posture as we begin to prepare the body to move. So first, take your right palm next to you, leaving your sits bones grounded, right palm to the floor, and then we're going to stretch our left arm up and over the right side for a side stretch. And I can tell you that a side stretch can feel so very wonderful when you haven't been doing these for a week. So take the opportunity to create length from that grounded sit bone all the way through the side body, all the way up into your hand. Keep breathing. One more deep breath here. And then coming back up through the center, both arms up, taller than you started. And then left palm down to your side, side stretch the other way. So again, maintaining both sits bones grounded, placing that left palm, you can put a little bit of weight into that, and then stretching that right arm all the way over, bending that left elbow, and finding how much length you can get from that grounded sit bone all the way to the tippy tips of your fingers. Let's take one more deep breath here, feeling all the space you created through those ribs. And then stretching up even taller than you started, both hands back through the center above your head, and then hands to prayer on your exhale, and arms back down onto your knees very gently. Beautiful. So as we continue to get a little bit of movement, let's go ahead and sort of creepy crawl forward. Again, keeping our sits bones grounded, crawling forward, using the breath to get as much length as we can before our hips want to sort of pop up. And you can even make this slightly restorative by taking a prop, such as a block, and actually placing your head down on this. Anything that we do to eliminate sort of the body's having to hold itself up is considered restorative. So here, maybe as you're moving forward, your neck is still getting a little tension, but if you were to place it on a block, you could really release forward. But remember, only so far as your hips stay on the ground. Trying to get length in the spine, breathing through the back. One more deep breath here. And exhale out. And then crawling the hands back to the center and placing your palms gently on your knees. Beautiful. So let's move a little bit with the shoulders. So we want to get our shoulders warmed up today. We're going to be working into some bound arm positions, which will require our shoulders are pretty open. So we'll start with some basic shoulder rolls, so we can just sort of roll them up and then back down with your breath. So inhale, exhale back down, inhale, exhale back down. So two more like this. Exhale. Don't be afraid to really sort of give it all you got. No one's looking, except maybe the cat. One more. Nice. And then we're going to reverse that. So bringing your shoulders back and then up on your inhale, and then rolling them forward. So you can get as much of your sort of upper body participating in this. Inhale, exhale. You can do it slowly with your breath. Really get a lot of mobility. So you want to really create, instead of just like a small motion, you're really trying to get as much of that, imagining a circle as you can. One more. And exhale back down. Nice. I want you to take a moment and place your palms or your fingertips on your shoulders. And then I want you to lift them all the way up to your ears as much as you can, keeping everything else nice and straight and strong, and then drop it down. So inhale up, exhale down. Let's do this a couple more times. Exhale down. And really just putting our hands here just allows us to get that extra point of contact, creating that additional awareness. So sometimes when we touch a body part and we get that awareness, our body part's not just out in space where we can't really tell because we have no perspective. This really just helps that perspective be gained. Let's do one more like that. And exhale down. Nice. Now keep your hands on your shoulders and we're going to do very gentle torso twists. So remain seated. I want you to just twist to the right very gently and twist to the left. This is super gentle. We haven't been warming up the spine too much yet, so this is just an informative sort of preparation for the mobility of the spine. Let's do two more like that. You can use your neck to turn with it, or if you are more dance oriented, maybe you could do like you're spotting, doing a pirouette. But you want to just get a little bit of movement just to introduce sort of the torso to some activity. Let's do one more. And then coming back to center, placing your palms back down. So we're going to move into introducing the body to the first bound posture. So Garudasana is eagle pose. You're probably familiar with that. It looks like you're kind of turning yourself into a corkscrew. So before we get there, we want to sort of introduce the arms to moving with that sort of different presentation. So extending your wings out nice and strong, outstretched to the side, and really get some energy there. And then maybe release that energy so you can feel the difference. We just warmed up the shoulders a little bit, so let them fly. Opening that chest. And then I want you to cross your right arm over your left and do self-hug. So this is just the beginning, but it doesn't mean that it can't be super sweet. So give yourself a little upper trap massage, shoulder massage maybe. I missed PT last week. I really missed it. One more breath here. And then on your inhale, stretch those arms out. And let's do the other side. So left arm over right, self-hug. Keeping that spine nice and long. Sits bones are grounded. Nothing else is changing. Arms are getting introduced to this position of a sort of a bound position already. Keep breathing. Keeping that breath nice and smooth. And then let's extend them out on your inhale. Beautiful. Now cross your right arm over your left to keep it sort of forward here, as if you're going to do kind of one of these. So from here, I want you to turn your right palm up and bend your right elbow. And then you're going to take your left arm, keep it straight for now, and cross at the elbow points underneath your right arm. And then you're going to come into eagle arms. Now, when you have this, you can either just connect the outside of your palms, depending on your mobility and flexibility, or you can come to where your palms are touching. So first figure out that, figure out what's more comfortable for you, and I can tell you this, with palms touching on the outside, is really a great stretch in the shoulders and upper back. You're doing it right, trust me. So wherever you are, I want you to take 3 good breaths here. I want you to drop the shoulders down, chin parallel to the floor, lengthen from that spine, feel the sits bones grounding down but lifting you up. Deep breath in, exhale out. Deep breath in, exhale out. One more deep breath in, exhale out. Now we're going to combine some of our spinal work. So everyone knows cat-cow. We're going to do a rounded spine, so that's kind of like our cat pose, but while we're seated with our eagle arms. So maybe this is like eagle cat. So on your inhale, actually inhale or exhale is fine. Let's do on the inhale for now. So on our inhale, we're going to bend forward and you want to keep your eagle arms, and then kind of keep everything the same. So your chin is really parallel. You can bend maybe a little bit of your chin toward the chest and then come all the way up. Back to your starting position. So let's do 3 of those. And actually, I think we should do exhale on the way down. So let's do exhale. Inhale on the way up. Exhale as we sort of make ourselves smaller. Inhale on the way up. You feel that cat in the spine, the cat position. Exhale. Lengthen that cervical spine. The neck should be getting some length as well. Exhale. And inhale back up. Now for the beautiful release, unclasp and untwist your corkscrew arms and extend them out to the side. You're free. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Palms can go down by your sides, and then maybe kind of shake that out. There's a lot going on there for the shoulders, the arms, even the forearms get involved. New things getting some work. So take as much time as you need to sort of wiggle out. Take a nice deep breath, and we'll prepare for the other side. So stretching your arms out. Our left arm is going to go under, so palms to the sky at first. Just kidding. Left arm over. And then you're going to bend your left elbow and then cross your right arm so the elbow points touch, and then bend your right elbow so that you can move into your eagle. Again, keeping the shoulders soft. You want to still think about broadening the chest. So even though everything's sort of coming in, still think about broadening the chest as you create space between those shoulder blades. Outside of the palms can touch, or inner palms. Take a moment to find yourself there. Let's do a couple breaths here before we move into our eagle cat. So again, what's happening with the rest of your body? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale. Inhale, one more breath. And exhale. Now we'll do our eagle cat. So let's do exhale down. A bit of core engagement. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And one more. Exhale down. And inhale up. Beautiful. So take a moment to find yourself here in this restricted movement. And then on your next big breath, untangle, untwist, stretch your arms out. You're free. Deep breath in. Exhale out, palms to your side. Great job, everybody. That's a lot of shoulder work, sort of intensity at the beginning of our practice, setting us up for a later posture when our legs get involved. So wiggle out if you need to. You can bend forward, uncrossing your legs, and meet me in all fours position. So in our all fours, we're going to do a traditional cat-cow. So we've already warmed up the spine just a little bit. Make sure your wrists are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips, drawing the navel to the spine, drawing some energy through the crown of the head, squeezing those outer hips in, softening the upper back, and let's drop the belly, chin to the sky, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Just regular cat, no birds in this one. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Let's do one more, and then we're going to do a little bit of dynamic movement with our child's pose. So exhale, and coming back to your neutral posture first, and then bringing the toe points together, dropping the hips down to the heels, moving into child's pose. So as we know, child's pose is always available to us as a place of rest during the practice. It can even be the entire practice. And you want to bring your forehead, you can also bring your cheek to the mat if that's more comfortable for you. I'm going to bring my forehead to the mat. Take a breath here. Exhale out. And then on your next inhale, inhale up to a little bit past sort of your cat-cow, almost as if you were about to do sort of a knees down, and then moving into cobra. So then on your exhale, you're going to come back down into your child's pose. So do that a couple times on your own rhythm, kind of in your own style. This is just to get a little bit of movement, connecting sort of arms and legs with the torso movement, because we introduced a lot of the spine, not much of the legs yet. So just waking everything up, telling it that it needs to coordinate. My body's like, wait, coordinate. you were like in bed all week. So take it easy on yourself. Just introduce your body to this concept. Let's do 2 more. Remember to be doing this on your breath. Inhale. And then back to our neutral position. Let's just be still for a moment. I apologize for the sniffles, everyone. 1 more breath here. Exhale out. And then curl both your toes under and sort of levitate those knees up just for a moment. Everything else stays constant. Squeezing those outer hips in and then hips to the sky, downward facing dog. So first downward dog of our practice today, maybe your first downward dog of the week. I always like to say, take this with the same feeling that you take that first sip of coffee in the morning. Really indulge yourself. Take every moment to enjoy everything from the aroma of it to that first sip. Maybe you lift both heels off the ground, bring them both down. Bending your knees is okay, actually very strongly encouraged. Maybe you are pedaling your feet, maybe you're even lifting your toes all the way up for running dog. Wherever you are, get that movement out, use that dynamic opportunity, and then come to stillness. Pressing down through the feet and hands, externally rotating, bringing those biceps to the ears, nice long neck. And then inhale, look forward and tippy toe to the front of your mat, bringing your feet between the palms, and then dropping in for ragdoll. So we never think really too much about ragdoll as being a bind, but in actuality, when we clasp our elbows, we are restricting our arms, so that can be considered a bound position as well. So you don't always have to just be kind of turned into a pretzel to be experiencing the benefits of bound. So in addition to those benefits, as we release down and stretch all the way from our bottom of our heels all the way through the backs of our legs and then all the way down to the crown of our head, really allowing sort of the whole sheath of our body to stretch and get long, and we're breathing. This is definitely one of those postures that you never want to rush. Give your body time to really sink in. Sway side to side as well, if that's comfortable for you. And then go ahead and switch your grip on your arms. So this is where it feels like you're kind of wearing your right shoe on your left foot. Do that for a moment and feel how that feels as well. Maybe repeat some of the things you did with your swaying just to get that different body perspective. Sometimes I feel like we're more bound in our routines than we would like to be, so it's really important from a neuroplasticity standpoint, even in yoga as well, to change those things up. So consider that as well as you move through your practice. Let's take 1 more breath here. Exhale down, release your palms down, your arms are free. And then I want you on your halfway lift to inhale. Keep your knees bent, especially this early in the practice. Exhale back down, forward fold. And then root to rise, lifting all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, arms to the sky, bringing hands to heart center, and then down by your side on your exhale. Beautiful. So now we're going to move into a couple sun salutations. The plan is to do 2 sun A's, a sun B, and then a fun B. So we'll see how those go. We're moving toward our eagle pose, as you know, so we want to make sure that we warm up our legs as well. So the front of your mat, let's begin. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Palms to the floor, stepping both feet back into your plank pose. Now you can drop your knees, pitching forward, making sure those shoulders and elbows stay nice and tight, dropping halfway down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, curl the toes back up, downward dog. 1 breath here. Exhale out, looking forward between your palms. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat.
feet between the palms. Inhale, halfway lift, keep those knees bent. Exhale, forward fold, and then root to rise, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands through heart center, down by your side, Tadasana. Let's get right to the next one and keep that going. Great job. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the floor, stepping back into your plank pose. Drop your knees or not, pitching forward. Squeeze those elbows in. Halfway down, Urdhva Hastasana or Cobra. And then back down to your downward dog. Inhale, looking forward. Step or hop or float to the front of your mat. Meet me in halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands through heart center, down by your side, Tadasana. Beautiful. Chair pose. Chair pose for our first Sun B. Squeeze those outer hips in, making sure that everything is staying neutral as you squeeze that in. That's what keeps everything engaged as you also push apart. This is a great place for a block. So as you are squeezing in, you're also resisting out. This is a great place to hang out with your resistance band, which, I never use mine. One more breath here in chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Palms to the floor, stepping back. Inhale, pitch forward. Keep those elbows in tight. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, Downward Dog. One breath here. Exhale out. Now lift your right leg up, hip height, which is not as high as you think. Squeeze that knee in toward the nose, kind of cat arch in the back, placing the right foot down closer to the right side. Now, drop your left foot down, preparing for Warrior One, making sure your right knee is tracking over that right ankle. Squeeze those outer hips in to root down and lift yourself up, Warrior One. And then let's settle here for a moment. So as you move into your Warrior One, some common sort of pitfalls are that sort of things get a little sloppy. So our hips naturally are not going to be facing perfectly forward, but we need to make our torso try to face forward. Keep the shoulders soft, biceps by the ears, nice strong arms. One more breath here. And then exhale, hands through heart center, down on either side of your mat. Rotate your left foot back to neutral. Pop that right foot back, quiet and silent if you can. From your plank pose, pitching forward, elbows in. Inhale, Cobra or Urdhva. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. One breath. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot up, hip height. Squeeze that knee to the nose. Coming forward between the palms, drop that left foot closer to the left side. Take a moment, don't rush this. Squeeze those outer hips in, drop the right foot down, 45-degree angle, and then lifting up to your Warrior One. You want to lift up when you feel solid. Something that often happens with faster paced vinyasa classes is that you get going and you get in a really good flow, but you don't give your body time to properly align. And the alignment is the most important part of the posture. So in our alignment here, making sure our left knee is tracking over that left ankle. Our hips can stay sort of catty corner like this because that's naturally how the body is for most of us, but get that torso facing forward. Soften the shoulders, soften your jaw. One more breath here. And then exhale, hands through heart center, palms to the floor. Try to pop that left foot back so silently, pitching forward. Squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. One breath here. Exhale out. Look forward between your palms. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Meet me in a halfway lift. Keep those knees bent. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Then root to rise, but chair pose. Squeeze those outer hips in. We start and end in chair pose for Sun B. One more breath. Nice flat spine, just creating neutrality there. One more breath. And then hands up, Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center. Down by your side, Tadasana. Now I only switch sides like that, trying to give you guys a different view. Don't have to do that. You should end up in the same place that you started.
Okay, let's move into our fun bee. So our fun bee actually includes our eagle pose. So if you want to get a drink of water, pause me. Just kidding, you didn't pause me, I paused me. And we will get started. So top of the mat, inhale, chair pose. Now my chair pose is typically hands in prayer. You can keep your arms up. My shoulders felt kind of warmed up, so I went with that. Squeeze those outer hips in, weights in the heels, drop down that another inch, one more breath. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, palms to the floor, stepping back to your plank pose, keeping everything tight and quiet, pitching forward, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, Down Dog. Breath in, breath out. Now lift your right leg up, hip height, knee to nose. Squeeze in tight, cat in the back. Drop your right foot down. Left foot drops to a 45-degree angle. We've been here before. Squeeze those outer hips in. Get strong in your foundation, so both of your feet, and then come up to your warrior one. Torso moves forward, shoulders are soft, chin parallel to the floor. Moving the biceps toward the ears, take a breath. Exhale out. Now, move your hands to heart center. And then I want you to take your left foot and pivot it back out so you're in crescent. So we're in a high crescent pose here. You can certainly do that in the other order. You keep your arms up first and pitch your leg out, but you want both hips neutral, both legs neutral. Now from here, move your weight into your right leg. I'm going to face you guys. Try to do a tiny version of this. So move your weight into your right leg, and then you're going to come up and bring your left foot over. So here's what it looks like from the side. So we're in our crescent, moving up for a balance challenge, and crossing the left leg over. So that is eagle legs. Eagle legs. So when you've got your eagle legs, you can stay right there. Your legs are now in that bound position. If you're ready for both, outstretch your wings. When left leg is over, left arm is under. So left arm under, right arm over, moving into our eagle arms. Outside or inside of palms touching. Soften the shoulders, lengthen the back. You're super tall. So you're not pitched over. Try to be just as tall as if nothing were bound. Smooth out your breath. You can definitely place a prop under your left foot. Some of you may be able to take your left foot all the way around the back of your right leg. Let those stabilizer muscles kick in. Those wiggles are making you strong. 3 more breaths here. I know it's a long time. Maybe you drop down another inch because you're stronger than you think. 1 more breath. Now from here, get ready. From your bound eagle, straighten your right leg, lift your left knee up. Keep your bound eagle arms. Step your left foot back into crescent. Keep your eagle arms. Once you're solid in your crescent pose, release your arms. You're free. Arms up, crescent lunge. Now, I want you guys to take a moment and feel how amazing that was. Get a couple breaths in here. Situate your foundation. You already did it. 1 more breath. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let that all go. Drop down to the floor. Right foot meets left, super silent and strong. Pitching forward, elbows in. Inhale, Urdhva or Cobra. Exhale, Down Dog. Great job. 2 breaths here. Move into the other side. You can certainly take a child's pose here if you feel like you want to get a break. Now you know what's coming. You guys got this. When you're ready, lift your left leg up, hip height, curl, knee to nose, nice and tight, cat back. Drop your left foot down in between your palms. Strengthen that foundation point first. Squeeze those outer hips in. Drop the right foot down, preparing for warrior one. Lift up. Warrior one. So now, everything needs to be strong. You know how much that left leg is going to be taking on in just a moment. So sort of put all of your mental power there, because that's going to be holding up our corkscrew. Dropping the shoulders nice and soft. 1 more breath. Giving your body time to get ready. And now let's move into our crescent pose. You can bring your hands to heart center first. Neutralize your stance. moving into your high crescent lunge, and now you know where we're going. So from here, moving the weight into your left leg. Left leg, bring that right knee almost up to the chest, but keep it neutral, and then crossing it over for eagle legs. Now you want to keep your hips facing forward, so don't let your right leg twisting curl your body. So if it's over curling, maybe you unlink one of those. Staying here is fabulous. You're already doing it. If you want to move into eagle arms, right leg over, therefore right leg under. Here is an option to show you where you can just pivot your leg. You're still feeling strong. You've got sort of a chair in that one leg, squeezing those outer hips in. Let's get our right arm under into our eagle arms. Drop the shoulders nice and soft. Maybe you've got your leg wrapped twice. Maybe you want to tilt forward like we did earlier. A little bit of a rounded spine, getting the core engaged, drawing the navel to the spine. Maybe you are right here with me. Wherever you are breathing and you are getting stronger. Drop down 1 more inch. Feel that left outer hip engage. 1 more breath. Now remember, to get out of this, carefully move your prop if you're me. To get out of this, we're coming back through it. So straighten the left leg, keep your eagle arms, right knee to the chest, hovering back, moving back into your crescent lunge. Eagle arms stay, just 1 more moment. Then release your arms, you're free. Arms up, 2 breaths, crescent pose. Shoulders soft, 1 more breath. Exhale, hands through heart center, palms to the mat. Left foot meets right, silent and strong, pitching forward. Squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 2 breaths here. 1 more. Exhale. Looking forward between your palms. Hop, step, or float. Challenge yourself here. Inhale, halfway lift, knees bent if you need to. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Chair pose. This is the end of our fun B, so let's make it super fun. While you're in your chair pose, feet should be hips width distance apart. Maybe you have your block to really create that additional awareness. We're going to do prayer twist. Prayer twist to the left. Twisting from the navel up, fun B. Find the outside of the elbow, of the right elbow onto the outside of that left leg. Twisting here again, not necessarily a bind per se, but a twist also challenges our breath work and our mental focus. Dropping down another inch, staying super strong and positive. 2 more breaths here. Opening the chest toward the sky. 1 more breath. Exhale, coming back to center. Other side. Re-engage, recommit. You got this. Prayer twist to the right. Twisting from the navel up. Find the outside of your left elbow, meaning the outside of your right leg, and twist. You are using your body as a lever here. That's okay. You don't need to be floating out in space and turning into a pretzel. This is acceptable to use as a lever, but this is another reason, keep breathing, that this block is great because it doesn't allow for too much counteractions to occur naturally. Let's do 2 more good breaths here. You guys got this. 1 more. Your spine will thank you. And back to center. Hold. 2 breaths. I'm doing it with you. You got this. Drop down another inch. 1 more breath. And release. You're free. Forward fold. Really take advantage. Stay in your forward fold. Deep, deep breaths here. Deep breaths. When you are ready, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Pressing down through the feet, root to rise. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, palms through heart center. Hands down by your side, Tadasana. Amazing job, everybody. Absolutely fantastic. You have earned a cool down. So meet me on the mat in a seated position. No fancy way to get there. So we're going to move into a couple of options here on the floor. We do want to continue a little bit with our bound theme. So we're going to do actually Vinyasa 1. I'm sure I said that wrong on my cold medicine. But this also has a little bit of a bound element to it, and it's another way to introduce your body to these concepts. So first start in Dandasana. So placing your legs out in front of you, neutral from the hip socket, engagement in the legs, toes to the sky. Stretching up through the spine, locate the sits bones. You know, I always say, don't move the flesh around, but just certainly locate them because that's your starting point. Placing the palms on the floor next to you. My palms can't go there because my arms are so long, so I do cupcake fingers. Let's take 2 deep breaths. One more breath. We're coming down. Now, leave your left leg straight. Bend your right knee, bring your right foot flat to the floor. Locating where your sits bones are. This could already be a challenge for many of us to kind of keep everything grounded. So what you're going to do is actually move the body kind of over out of the way of the knee, as if you're trying to say like, hey, I can't see. You're sitting in front of me at the movies. Move your torso over, bring your right shoulder down and in front of your knee. Now this could already present a challenge for many of us. If you can get down this far and reach your arm to the side, even before you internally rotate, that's a great place to be. And then you can use your left arm to be more of your internally rotated full bound side. Ultimately, what you want to do is have your right arm internally rotated under your left arm as well. Kind of think of when we do humble warrior, we do thumbs down this way, and then clasping your hands behind sort of your right outer hip, and then lengthening up. You're going to feel that in the groin, left outer hip, a lot of places, lifting up and then folding over that left leg. Now you can see I'm not folded over flat. I won't sacrifice the length of the spine, which is always a goal with our folds, or the bound position of my arms and shoulders to get all the way down there. So keep that in mind. This is an extremely active fold. Wherever you are, maybe your left arm is behind you and your right arm is to the side. Maybe you've just got your shoulder down. Maybe you're just holding your right leg, but you're learning the internal rotation of the left arm around the back body. Wherever you are, keep breathing. You're doing yoga. Let's get one more breath in here. Exhale. And then very carefully unwind. So I usually go kind of the right arm first and coming back, and maybe my left arm. It's a lot of internal rotation, so definitely be gentle with yourself, and that's a lot of hip and inner groin as well. So coming back to your sort of neutral position, release that right leg out. I always like to give my legs a little squeeze after any of these seated postures. Give them a little thank you. We'll move to the other side. So starting in Dandasana, creating that energy in both the legs, and then bringing your left knee into the chest, left foot flat on the floor, engagement in the right leg. Leave yourself enough space, move your torso sort of out of the way. Can't see, you're blocking me at the movies. You guys remember the movies? We used to go to the movies. And then from here, dropping that left shoulder down and the inside of your left leg. And then you're gonna move into that sort of negative thumbs down for both arms. So maybe you have, I'm still doing the thumb. So maybe you rotate back around. Maybe you just get to here. Maybe your shoulder doesn't turn in. That's okay. Take your right arm and see if you can get that into that bound position. Many yoga postures have opportunities for binds. This is a great introduction to what the arms can be used for in other postures, and the body has to learn. So this is already a great place to be. But maybe you've got both going. Your hands are clasped behind sort of your left outer hip, engagement in that right leg, finding those sits bones, feeling grounded, stretching through the spine, folding forward. There's length in the neck here. It's definitely not an easy one. The benefits are tremendous. Let's get 2 more good breaths here.
you're ready, slowly come up. Carefully release your bind. And then coming back to seated posture behind your left leg, stretching that left leg out and doing some thank yous. Thank yous to the legs. That makes me think of my friend Kara always tells her kids when they don't like something to take a thank you bite. This is a thank you for your legs. Okay, so from here, let's go ahead and just do Paschimottanasana. So traditional forward fold. We're already set up for this. So locate those sits bones. Feel the length before you fold. Folds are all about length. And then lift up. And maybe you can clasp your toes into yogi toe grip. Maybe your knees bend slightly, as mine always do. Wherever you are, go for that length in the spine, making sure that you're not just rounding and sinking over. See if we can take 4 really nice breaths here. Really come down. This posture is really good for reducing anxiety and creating mental focus. I watched a special on Iyengar yoga, and they would sit in this posture, kind of tying themselves into it in an extreme way, but they would sit in this posture for hours to get sort of mental clarity. So really nice posture. And one more breath here. Inhale up. And then we're going to move into Baddha Konasana, so bound angle pose. So bring the soles of your feet together and give a little bit of attention and love to the sort of inner and outer hips here. You can have your feet kind of as close to your body as is comfortable. You'll be able to notice the closer or farther away. You'll have different levels of sensation, so make sure that you're feeling that out. Also, you can use a blanket or props here to help support your legs as needed. But again, let's go for length in the spine. So sometimes I kind of hold my feet like I'm going to open a book, and then allow that to actually broaden my chest a little bit. And as you create that broad feeling, create that length in the spine, and then slowly bring your body forward. This is actually one of my favorite postures to do in a restorative class, where I would typically take a block, place it under here, and hang out for 10 minutes. Feels really amazing. Feel free to take that opportunity. One more good deep breath here. And when you're ready, lift yourself back up. Keep and maintain that height and length that you've established through this practice. And then carefully place your hands on the outer parts of your knee and close your knees. Your knees can probably close themselves, but it's always important for me as we get to the end of our practice to support our body in an additional way and just kind of give it that knowledge that it's safe and has done good for us. When you're ready, move onto your back very carefully and gently. We'll go into a quick happy baby and then into our Shavasana, or final resting posture. So we haven't been on the back much this practice. We didn't do any bridge work. We didn't start on our back. So take a moment to just let that sink in. Feel supported. Know that we're coming to the end of our practice. We're getting ready to soak in all the benefits. And bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a great big hug. Maybe you sort of reclasp your arms because now you're super aware of which direction is which. And wherever you are, make that hug count. If you'd like to come into a happy baby posture to sort of seal your practice, you can extend your legs up
in front of you, and sort of as if you're doing kind of a yogi squat in the sky. And then place your hands on the inside, and then arms on the inside, hands on the outside. And I typically grab my outer ankles and then sway lightly side to side. Whatever modification or variation that you like, embrace that here. Make it gentle. Make it soothing and calming for the body. And keep the lower back on the floor if you can. And sort of sway your way into stillness. And then bring your knees back together and clasp your arms over your knees one more time. We bind again. And this time actually bring your head and neck off the floor, coming back into a truly small and bound position. And here we're bound in a loving way, but we're bound yet again. And then from here, release into Shavasana. You're free. Release the need to control the breath in any specific way, and allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Release the need to maintain your legs coming out of the hips in a neutral way, and just let them open comfortably to the side. Release all the work you did, the beautiful work you did in practice tonight. Release that too. Just be here in this moment, supported by the earth. Continue breathing here, and I will let you know when it's time to come back. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into this space. Find some light and gentle movement in your hands and your feet. And then bring that movement in toward the center of the body, gently bringing your knees into your chest and giving yourself one more hug. And when you're ready, gently move onto the left side body, keeping your eyes closed. And in this fetal position, take one full breath. And after that full and satisfying exhale, keep your eyes closed. Gently use your right hand to push yourself up into a seated position, and we will begin to close our practice together. So we find ourselves in our seated position, our Sukhasana, much like the beginning of our practice. And yet we have come so far through this journey together. This journey that taught us that though we are bound by restrictions, we can still be free in our breath and in our thoughts and in our body. And it will teach us that when we are able to be free, how much we will appreciate and look forward to experiencing that journey. Inhale, arms up. Exhale through heart center. Inhale, thumb knuckles to your third eye. And we exhale, bow together, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this practice. I hope everyone has a fabulous week. Can't wait to see you again. Thank you.